I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So, if you'd like to get either a Vedic Astrology or a Tarot reading from me, you can do so at my website. It'll be linked down in the description box below. Well, let's get into this, Aquarius. So, Aquarius. Jupiter is going to be moving into your third house in the sign of Aries on April 21st of this year. But before we get into that, let's talk about when Jupiter was in Pisces. Now this is for if you're an Aquarius Ascendant or Moon sign. Just to reiterate that. Alright, so when Jupiter was in Pisces, Pisces is your second house. So what does the second house represent? Second house is your family. It's what you value. It's your speech. Second house is your finances, your savings. It's the money that you earn on a regular basis, like from a weekly paycheck. So, Jupiter transiting there, your relationship with your family would have been improved. You would have gotten along with your family members better during that transit. Your speech would have carried wisdom. People would have been more inclined to listen to you speak during that transit. Your savings would have increased because Jupiter naturally represents expansion. Transiting the second house, your savings would have expanded. You would have been earning more money on a regular basis. You would have found more value in your life. You would have appreciated things in your life more. But now let's talk about Jupiter transiting into Aries. So, Jupiter is your 11th and your second lord. 11th and second house are houses of finances. So, Jupiter is very significant for Aquarius when it comes to money. First off. Now, Jupiter's moving into Aries, your third house. But before we get into what that means, let's talk about the major impact that's going to be happening in Aries. So Jupiter naturally represents expansion, and Rahu's sitting there. Rahu is the karmic north node of the moon. It naturally represents explosive energy. So you're going to see this explosive expansion happening here in the sign of Aries. Now on top of this, you have Saturn's third aspect hitting Aries. So, the two largest physical planets, Jupiter and Saturn, are both aspecting and sitting in Aries. They're both impacting it. Now, Rahu and Ketu, the karmic nodes, also have a major impact through transit. They're the slowest moving planets that have an impact in our lives. They have the largest impact. Rahu and Ketu being shadow planets. Now, Aries is going to receive this significant impact this year. So, what does your third house represent? Where this is going to take place. Third house is your younger siblings. It's your neighbors, your cousins. It's your friends, but more so your childhood friends. Third house is media. It's communication. It's writing. It's your skills. Short distance travel. So, with Jupiter transiting here, you're going to have a better relationship with your younger siblings at this time. Also, Jupiter rules your 11th house of elder siblings. 11th house is also friends. So, there will be a lot of get-togethers with your friends and with your siblings during this time. And more so than usual. And your elder siblings will get along more with your younger siblings. Your friends will get along more. Now, you could also gain through your younger siblings during this time, through your neighbors, through your friends. You could gain through communication, through media at this time. You're also going to travel more, especially short distance travel, but even long distance travel too. And you could gain through that because Jupiter rules your second house of finances and regular earnings, and your 11th house of major gains and hopes, wishes, desires. So Jupiter here is very good for you. Now, like I said, there's going to be a massive expansion here. Jupiter also represents education, and third house represents skills. So you could learn new skills during this time, and you could gain through that. But now let's talk about the aspects of Jupiter. So Jupiter's going to aspect your 7th house, your 9th house, and your 11th house. So, 7th house. 7th house is relationships, marriage, and business partners. It's business in general. It's also the masses, the people out in the world. So, Jupiter aspecting here, you're going to have a lot more interaction with people than you normally do. Especially Jupiter ruling your 11th house. 11th house is large organizations, aspecting the 7th house of the masses. You'll definitely interact with people more during this time. If you're in a relationship or marriage, things will be good during this time. If you're in business, you could gain more financially through business during this time. If you're not already in a relationship or involved in business, you could become involved in business or get into a relationship during this time. Now it depends on your planetary and sign-based time periods. Those are the most important for predicting, and without knowing your birth chart, I can't tell you what that would be. For general, it doesn't work. But that is a possibility during this time, especially because Saturn will also aspect your 7th house. Alright, so now let's talk about the aspect on your 9th house. So Ketu's been in your 9th house for about the past year. So 9th house represents your father. It represents your guru, your teachers, represents long distance travel, but mainly Ketu being there, your relationship with your father would feel distant. 9th house also represents religion, law, education. So Ketu would have caused issues, especially in the material aspects of the 9th house. So you would be less interested in dealing with your father and dealing with your education, unless it was very specific types of education. Like, what Ketu's interested in is research. See, Ketu wants to take you away from the material world. Ketu is all about spirituality and otherworldly things. So research, the occult, spirituality. That's where Ketu here would have been helping you. But when it comes to your relationship with your father, with your teachers, when it comes to traveling, when it comes to philosophy, law, Ketu would have hurt those areas of your life. So Jupiter's aspect here is going to help in those areas now. So your relationship with your father won't be as bad as it's been. You could also travel more during this time. Especially for education, this is very good, because Jupiter naturally represents education. And 9th house is higher education, like masters and beyond, or any like higher learning that you get outside of school. Now, the aspect on your 11th house. This is the best aspect of Jupiter during this transit because Jupiter will be aspecting Sagittarius, its own house. Okay, so Sagittarius with Jupiter aspecting there is very good. Now, 11th house represents elder siblings, friends, large network circles, gains, your hopes, wishes, desires. It's the gain of your status. So Jupiter aspecting here Definitely financially, this will be a good time period for you. Your relationship with your elder sibling will be good during this time, or elder siblings. You could gain more friends during this time. Some of your hopes, wishes, and desires could be fulfilled during this transit. Alright, that's what I have for you, Aquarius. And if you like my videos, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me and the channel out. And I'll catch you in the next one.